So my name is David Freitas. I'm from Brazil, and I'm a software engineering major right now with a deep passion for business and finances. Um, my answer to the first question is that I've always loved launching new projects that really push me beyond what I already know. For example, right after my mission in Brazil, I started my own English school, and even though I was still not extremely capable of teaching a very good English class, I took up a really hard challenge. So I ended up coaching a CEO who was preparing to sell his company to an American firm in Brazil. And later on, he went to Shark Tank. So I went to his business, tried to understand his model and how things worked. And in the end, I had to adapt the way I teach to supporting him teaching about his company to another person in a foreign language. So I think that Sandbox will give me back that adrenaline of facing the unknown and having people that have the same desire to build something and to excel their limits. But at this time, with the support of experts and mentors, which are really, really valuable for me, I think those connections that I will have, and I remember that we were going to be able to connect with more than 100 people that are part of the Sandbox project. Those things really caught my attention because I know networking is so important to have access to knowledge, instruction, and mentorship. So I think that would be one of the biggest reasons I want to join the program. Also, I want to be in this environment where I can build something from scratch and find the right resource to scale it effectively. It really drives me that we have kind of a deadline to present our project and have it be interested to other people to invest it. So I think it would be super funny and interesting to be in a project like that. So it's kind of the bridge that turns my current education into something practical and impactful. I really want to be closer to entrepreneurs and go back to that instead of just focusing on education. I feel like entrepreneurship it's the best laboratory we can have to apply what we know and to learn things and develop, stretch ourselves. I was faced so many times while I had my own company in Brazil um, with finding solutions that I didn't have before and offering more value so that I could increase my the price for my English classes. So that's definitely one of the things that really stands out for me why I wanted to be involved. The problem that I want to solve during Sandbox, I know that could change, but the main thing that I want to develop is related to myself and my childhood. So while growing up in Brazil, I learned early on that education isn't very an even play field. It's not the same for everyone. My parents had to work full time, and they were divorced, and I was raised by my grandmother who had like very little formal schooling. So I often found myself struggling to study alone and without the support needed for someone that struggled with math at that point and other classes. So I could always also see the benefit of having your parents at home or other students that had tutors. They definitely progressed a lot faster than me, and they were able to solve problems and to during their learning process that I couldn't because I didn't have that support. So that made me realize that sometimes, like actually, I believe that most of the times the biggest barrier that separates the smart guy from the class to the dumb, like kids usually refer to others, is the support they have. Um, so my end goal here is to have an AI applied to education. I want to develop an open source model that allows schools and independent teachers to transform their curricula into a personalized AI mentor. So not only a chatbot, but a system that will analyze a student's learning model and apply that to the school content, to the professors or teachers content, even for from um, secondary school, for basic school until university, college, and any other kind of course that it's possible. The idea is to have the content be adapted to the student's learning model instead of the students adapt the content, like his learning model, to the content. And I believe that would make education so much more inclusive, because so many times we are, I feel like, especially in Brazil, we don't really have access to professors or to teachers because you're so busy with so many students, or we only have that class time and it's only focused on presenting the material. But what I want to have is that every student have their own parent, which is going to be that mentor, supporting them in their progress of learning, so that we can have more people succeeding, and to make education more affordable and accessible for everyone, right? I really want to inspire that um, we're not defined as smart or dumb, but we just have abilities that need to be developed, and that AI mentor would be that source that is needed for those students. What do you feel that sets you apart as a candidate? I think that I've went through a lot owning my own business, and those experiences really set me apart. I can build and I can do difficult things, like overcome barriers, and even dealing with things that I can't really understand or know how to solve. I think that my experience running my own business and just in my personal life made me learn that those things doesn't need to scare me. So I think that's definitely one of the things that really sets me apart, is that I don't have fear to face problems. I don't have a fear to don't know what to do. Actually, that excites me and really drives me to achieve that goal. I'm also not really afraid of taking risks on those projects and taking the responsibility for them. So I think that um, this opportunity of really applying those experiences, networking, and the desire to face challenges, I've my heart really burns to that opportunity to um, be closer and be engaged on a business itself, especially since I'm an international student here. I'm from Brazil. I can't really just start my business on without the support from school. So if I'm not involved in a project like that, I have really limited opportunities to start my own business and to run that. So I want to have that chance through Sandbox. Related to my hours, I almost forgot that. I have the main responsibilities that I will have. It's a 12 credits next semester, 20 hours of work, and I love boxing. It's actually have been helping me a lot to develop myself. Um, so I would dedicate 5 hours to boxing club, and that would break me down to 10 to 15 hours, maybe 20 hours to work on the sandbox project. Thank you. I really appreciate your attention.